I can
Yeah,
hear
I can
you,
hear
but
you. My screen's frozen too.
yeah, your image is frozen.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone, as we troubleshoot
Hopefully,
for a second. Bear
yeah,
with
we're
us.
if you can still hear me now, I might have to come off and come back in just for a second.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you are frozen for your video. If you want to hop on and off, that's fine. Good evening, everyone. We're just dealing with a couple technical difficulties on Jake's end with the internet, I think. So just bear with us. We'll get started in a second or so. Hopefully he can come back on.
Said he's rebooting.
Excellent. Thanks, Jenny. Looks like he's off now. He'll be back on in a second, then we'll get started. This will give a couple more folks time to join as well. And we'll jump in and talk a little bit about the Inferno for next weekend. Oh, there you go. You're just muted.
Yeah, there we are. Now I'm back. I
Perfect.
chronically have way too many tabs open in Chrome. I think.
That's Ed's problem too. I cannot fathom that. I'm way too OCD for that many tabs.
All right, let's see if we can get this going again.
And then I think you also want to pin yourself, Jake.
And
Slides up.
one pin for everyone.
Perfect.
And pin you. Oh, you're a pin for everybody.
I'm still pinned, yeah.
Very good. All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Easter for those who celebrate. Yeah, here we are. 3 weeks later. Welcome back.
Take two.
Yeah, take two. Well, we talked, Josie and I talked a little bit before this, or we're texting, and we're going to kind of focus this on the updates and the changes. We encourage the session we had 3 weeks ago is online and covers most of the basics, and we're going to focus on is the changes, but I'm happy to stick around after for anybody who's new and wants to ask questions on sort of the basics of the event. So,
awesome. That sounds great. Thanks, Jake. Let's start by, can you share a little bit about sort of how the decision making happened, about when the first date and what we were thinking, and then what it looks like for this coming weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to pull up a weather forecast. I had that tab open and now I'll get that weather open. And there we go.
The biggest takeaway is that there is not going to be several inches of rain this coming week,
right,
as far as I can tell.
Yeah. So yeah, a little recap. While we were meeting last time, there was a deluge of torrential downpour. We had people joking about kayaking the Sherb ski trail, and then it was followed by that deep freeze that just locked everything up. And then we went out onto the hill on that Wednesday, a really beautiful blue sky day with a team of like 7 of us that went out, and we went into Huntington, into Tuckerman, into Gulf of the Slides, looked at the Tuckerman Ravine Trail and the Sherby and the Gulf of the Slides Trail and the Huntington Fire Road and the ravines, different gullies in the ravines, trying to see if there was any place that was going to either soften or be at an angle where the steep snow was skiable. And I topped out of left gully, and well, on the radio, my friend Stu skied right gully, came up through Huntington and skied right gully. And on the radio, he said, I think this is the most scared I've been on skis in a long time. And he's a really good tele skier. And I went up to the left to poke above tree line and get a look at the summit cone, and then also look at options for maybe topping out a left and going over to Huntington. And the same thing, I literally had to sidestep down the first 20 yards of the left gully because I was afraid of unpressuring my edges, not being able to get pressure on the edges again, and sliding the whole length. And then I was able to start doing some side slipping, then finally made turns down the bottom of really refrozen surface of a golf ball conditions. And there was no real forecast for anything to warm up between the Wednesday recon and the race day. So we were concerned about the long sliding falls, and then we looked at the ski trails, and they were in really rough shape. And there was open dirt on the Huntington Fire Road. Just both the Sherby and the Gulf of Slides Trail were washed out and through ice. So we made the hard decision, had a meeting of all the stakeholders, including representation from the racers and our guide service, the climbing school, and board members of the Avalanche Center Foundation and the Snow Rangers, and made the hard decision to postpone. And here we are. Since then, all of a sudden it snowed a bunch right after the race. We got a bit of a refresh up on the mountain. The Sherburne came back in. And now we're catching up on the conditions and getting ready for the race. I think the weather's actually looking pretty good at this point for a race this weekend. Let me share this.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, from the racer perspective, and I shared this with you, Jake, last time when we chatted, we talked about how the safest way you can ski Tuckermans, and it would not have been a safe way to ski Tuckermans if we went ahead with a race on the date as planned. And so I think it was a really smart decision to say, this mountain has its own opinions about when we should ski it, and that was not the time. So I really appreciate you and your team putting so much effort into scouting it and really thinking thoughtfully about what made the most sense to make this a really wonderful event.
And we're through the history of the race and through its different iterations, we've always, for the most part, we've tried to find a way to make it happen. I can remember when it was the kayak format, we had the Saco. Was coming up through Pinkham, and the Saco was approaching flood stage, and we had a team reconfigure the kayak leg on the fly, making it a zigzag through the Attitash snowmaking pond with buoys, and we just stayed out of the river, and we still made it happen. But when the steep terrain was taken off the menu, and then the low angle terrain was taken off the menu, it was looking like it was going to turn into a mountaineering race without the ski, and that just wasn't the spirit and the intent in the spirit of the race. So we, in the video we were talking about it, we can have a lot of fun on Mount Washington and in a lot of different conditions, and sometimes we do have to ski to the conditions and not to the calendar, and not force something on just because it's been on the calendar and you want to go. That's people do get into trouble that way when they ignore warning signs just because they've got something on the calendar. So that's sort of the messaging and the public safety messaging that we can come out of the decision.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So talk us through how the weather looks this week.
Yeah, so it was warm today. I haven't, from what I saw on social media, I just got back from a trip to Katahdin, so I've been out of this range a little bit, but I'm watching social media, people skiing this weekend. looked like yesterday was a banner day. Turns out my cousin's kid eloped in Tuckerman Ravine on Saturday. I saw some pictures. I didn't even know that was the sneaky mission that my Elijah pulled off on the family. But yeah, people were piecing the Sherb together and skiing all the way down on Saturday, but looks like the lower part of the Sherburne is probably out, and with today's rain and whether the lower bit is out. When I talked to Jeff Langeme, the lead snow ranger, on Thursday, they were spending Friday getting the cat up and down the TRT. So I think the TRT is still in, and what I've seen again on social media and people's trip reports is that it looks like people are skinning the Tux Trail, but water bars are kind of blown out and either have to pick your way across or maybe take skis off to cross the water bars. And then, but the bowl looks like it's in good shape. Hillman's is in good shape. The people ski and knock down there's a big wet avalanche that came out of Dodges that's kind of filled in the bottom of Hillman's. I think we'll have to on Wednesday assess how much the lip has opened up, whether that's in, or we're gonna have to go over to like Wright Gully or something like that. There's still a bunch of good snow up in the snowfields. We just may not have continuous snow all the way. It just might be skiing and then have to take skis off to get over a section to get into a gully and then put skis back on and keep going, something like that. I've shared my screen. This is the open snow forecast, which is decent and for a week out. It's warm today. It's going to get cold the beginning of the week, which will preserve the snow we have left. And then going in Thursday, we'll get a warm up and freeze. So a little bit of corn, and then Friday and Saturday, it looks like it's warm into Saturday. So good shot of soft snow and not being in the same position we were before, as of right now.
Yeah. That looks nice that it'll be warm overnight on Friday. That's key for not bulletproof snow on Saturday.
Yep. So mountain weather, I watch at this point. I don't put 100% stock in what the forecast says on the day, but what I'm watching is the trends and how things are shifting. So if that warm weather is pushing left or right. A little bit of visibility maybe on Saturday, but that's far enough out that what the clouds and the dew is definitely not set in stone. But looks the cold and then the warming trend is encouraging.
That sounds great. So you mentioned a couple different course options. Can you walk us through sort of what you're thinking right now for the course?
So given what I know right now, I think we start the race in Pinkham Notch and go up the Tux Trail. Maybe it might be some awning and off again skis, or you could choose to go up and skis off without skiing. However it makes sense. But I think there's going to be snow coverage for most of the TRT all the way up into the bowl, and then figure out where we can do the mountaineering aspect, which would either be something in Tuckerman or maybe something in Huntington. I've got to get out with the guides on Wednesday and just figure out where the issue with the route we did last year is that the moats and the holes are kind of opening up at the base of those ice floes. So we'll have to be a little bit creative with where we set up the mountaineering objective, but we'll find something, and then go as high up in the snowfields as we have snow, maybe wrap farther around into the east fields and ski down, and then do a big traverse back to the bowl. And then depending on how much the lip hole is opened up, if we can keep it far enough left of the waterfall hole, we may be able to come over the lip still. But if not, Wright Gully goes all the way to the top, and it might just be gotta take your skis off, run through get get into the start of the gully and then put the skis back on and go down. And then the options coming out of the bowl, either is going to be go up left gully and traverse across into the top of Hillman's, or to the before this rain, the snow bridge was still in. The little head wall was blown out, but the snow bridge to get over to the right was in, and there's a way to ski down through the bushes to the right of the little head wall that I have to look at Wednesday to see if that's viable or not. And then we'll go down the Sherb till the snow ends.
And it'll stop where the snow ends.
Where the snow ends. Yeah. Yep.
So there won't really be a running.
No down running. No. On the Sherb.
Yes, that sounds great.
The only possibility for sort of a down running would be if we really couldn't get over from the top of left over to Hillman's and we wanted to down climb the TRT to connect into the Sherb. Like we've done that a couple times in the past.
Yeah, I've done that before in a couple different formulations.
Yeah.
And so how will the course vary by category?
Yeah, so the vertical is still going to be the vertical will still be from the bottom up to the height of wherever we start the ski course, as high up as we can go. So that'll be no different through the mountaineering challenge. If we on the classic, if we're just finishing in the bowl and it's a shortened above the bowl section, what I'm leaning towards right now is having, if it's 2 shorter laps where you get your start time, do a lap, and then boot back up and get a second lap, and it'd be a combined time for 2 runs through the GS course. And you climb back up would be on your own. Just you got to beep in at the timer and then head down for the second lap.
That would be a ski duro, right?
Yeah, kind of like a ski duro. Yeah. And then for the duos and the solos, it's just kind of what we've been talking about.
And you would
still definitely have. Yeah, for the overall, we'll still have 2 big climbs for the overall skimo and duo.
Right. And Matthias is asking, the descent from the bowl to the base of Hillman's will be well marked, and the answer to that, I'm sure, is yes.
Yes.
This is not find your way based on the way we're describing it type race. It's always very clear.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. So what is can you give us a little bit about sort of how, I imagine the schedule will be similar to last week, but sort of how information will come out this week?
So that's great. So this, the next couple days are my logistics days, trying to get everything, all the last pieces put in place. Wednesday, again, we'll go up with the team and ski, move around the terrain and get eyes on everywhere where we could go and look at the weather, the more finite and granular weather forecast through race day, and have a 90% solution on where the course is going to be, and we'll announce that. And then we've got Thursday's another logistics day. I'm going to actually go up on Wildcat and set up a radio repeater, and so we'll be able to get eyes across the street as long as the visibility is good and just see if there's anything different. And then Friday we take the team up to set the course, and we'll have the 95% solution, 98% solution of what the course is going to be at registration at Ledge on Friday evening.
And as last time, for folks who can't make it to Ledge on Friday evening, you'll post on social media what that course looks like Friday, so that folks can know we're going to show up for registration on Saturday.
Yep.
And similar to last time, you could register up till Saturday morning.
Yes.
And bib pickup will be, I think Jenny, I assume, will be at the base for registration.
Yeah. We'll have a table. We'll have a table at the base on Saturday for those who can't get it Friday night.
And it opens at 6:30.
I believe so. Yeah.
Maybe Jenny can confirm that for us.
I think maybe 6. So
6.
6. Okay.
5
Yeah.
a.m.
Great, and that's-
Beacon chicken and 6 registration.
Perfect. And that's mostly for the classic Inferno folks who have to get
Right.
up
Correct.
to the place where they're going to start descending by 9:30, which
Yeah.
is the race start time.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Any other major things we wanted to cover for everyone, Jake?
I think that between this and the the recording of the last, I think we've covered a lot of it. I can go through, open up the map, and go through it for folks that want it or visual and want to see the map of the terrain. But it's the same map we covered basically that we covered last time we talked about it. I can be prepared to do that and hang on later if there's new folks or folks that didn't get to the call.
And for folks who might be watching this one but didn't watch the one before, if you have a lot of questions about gear and questions about the mountaineering portion, it's all covered in detail in the last recording. So if you have questions, we're happy to answer them now. But if you want to just watch that as well, we recommend watching. Lots of good tips on gear that we walk through.
Yeah, I think I'm good to open it up the just questions and see where it goes. I've got,
Great.
if there are gear questions, I can pull up the slides where we talked about it and show people.
People can just turn off mute or throw questions in the chat if they have them. Maybe we answered all the questions.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Fresh look at the map, and then a question about what the Huntington route looks like. So maybe we should pull up the map.
Yeah.
And you could show those two different options.
Yeah, when we went over before in Huntington, we were looking at like south. It would be over here, so like it's not great, but thinking things like South Gully or Escape Hatch, or even potentially Central Gully have grade 2 ice that's not vertical ice climbing is what they're looking at in Huntington. And then from there, it's a more direct route right up to the best part of the East Fields for skiing down. So
in some ways, that might be the most direct route up, probably.
Yeah.
And then this is also showing. I think this route shows going over the lip, but I think
this is going over the lip, and then so this other might end up going down Right Gully. Or
going
and then
up, right?
Going up.
Still thinking we're going to go up the lip.
Up the lip, or that's a big TBD. Just I've got to get in there with the guides, and they're going to tell me where they think they can safely set a up route.
Yeah.
But the down would come over through Right Gully, and then the potential is the other up is coming up through left, and then across over the top to Hillman's.
Oh.
If we can do that responsibly without trampling on too much alpine flora.
And that would probably be on boots. You'd have to boot over.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think from what I saw at Wildcat, there's still a pretty significant amount of snowfield that went across. So maybe you might be able to skin or boot to a height of land and then glide across.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Other questions that folks have? Just as a quick refresher, 9:30 start time for all different formulations of the race, and then Ledge Brewing for the after party starting at what time?
I can get in starting at 3 for après, and then we'll have the awards sometime around 5 as soon as we get the shooting for 5, but as soon as the results are tabulated and quality controlled.
Which hopefully will be easier this year than last year.
Yeah, for sure with the chip timing. Also, it's going to be go out tonight on social media. The trailer at registration. Right after registration's done, around 7:30, we're going to be premiering the Proving Ground film that we produced in partnership with Warden Films, which is it's a long sliding fall awareness video that the foundation has put a lot of effort into. So it should be a trailer going out tonight, and then we'll premiere the film, and then it'll get distributed on social media afterwards. So that'll be at 7:30 at after registration at Ledge.
Great.
And another bit of logistics. Ledge is technically closed for renovations, but Maddie doesn't want to lose the event, so he's opening back up. But there's not going to be. We won't have the kitchen. Their kitchen won't be open. So I believe we're working on getting Cheese Louise to bring their food truck in for Saturday. But Friday night, don't count on any food at the event. We may, for the film release, the foundation is talking about bringing in some pizzas for folks, but no, there won't be a food menu available there on Friday evening.
Gotcha. That seems crucial to make sure we have food on Saturday though for some hungry skiers.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions folks have? All right. I think that might be it, which is awesome. Jake, thanks so much again for all of your thoughtful work on this for your team. And we look forward to hearing about how conditions look later in the week and what the course will look like.
Awesome.
See everyone on Friday or Saturday.
And I'll just hang out till everybody's off the call, and if something comes up, just let me know.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake. I'm gonna go my screaming children upstairs.
Yeah.